Yo, what is going on, my friends? It's your boy Jdun, Trades with Team Bull Trading, and I hope you're all having an amazing day. We are live and back in action with a crazy valuable video on how we caught some banger moves to the upside and the downside today. But first, a few important announcements. Number one, the Team Bull podcast is officially launched. Whoop, whoop. It is valuable. We have episode 1 up, as you can see here, from Prison to Profitability. You can find that right here on YouTube or on Spotify or Apple Music, so make sure to check that out. Number 2, this is the last day to put in your Team Bull Mastermind application. The link is below, so after this video, if you've been interested, make sure you put that in. And number 3, I want you guys to get ready to learn, put your learning caps on, because we have a whole lot of valuable information for you and so much coming in the next month, year, and decades to come. So if you like making money, if you enjoy transparent trading, and if you get some value from this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Comment what you want to learn next below, and let's get to the money and education together. Over 600% trading QQQ today. You are an absolute monster, my friend. How you doing today?
I appreciate it. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. This market rally kind of took me by surprise, but I'm not complaining. We feasted off it.
Yes, sir.
So speaking of feasting, in this video, we're going to break down in just a second. Brandon is going to show you a full walkthrough of how he called out QQQ calls right here inside Team Bull Trading. These contracts went over 600% into profit. So he's going to show you everything he knows and how he found that. And then we're going to take a stroll over to SPY, our baby in Team Bull. He's going to show you how he called out a trade that went over $100 a contract. And then personally, I want to show you how I gave the Team Bull Discord an exact game plan right here before it happened, that we would go up to 393 to 394, our supply zone. We would touch, come back down to 392, and then go long. And as you can see from this chart, we went up to 393, 394, came down, touched 392.3, and then ripped up. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about. So basically where I want to start this is that play right there. Looking at these charts, if we go back to our hourly chart, that's where I find my levels. We look at this. We had a big area of resistance right here in 393 to 394. So I figured if we come up here and we see that rejection down, where's our next area likely going to be of our support that we come down, break that previous resistance and come back down and touch? 392. Now, why is that? Well, we look at this chart. This was the next big whole psych number that we kind of came to and had a lot of areas of confluence. So we touched the top of this channel. We typically come back down. And when we touch the bottom of that channel again, it turns to our new support. It's exactly what happened. And we saw a nice move up after. Now, seeing moves like this and, having this play out is no coincidence. This is levels in effect. This is learning and watching day by day, night by night, how charts work and getting the experience to be able to tell that before it happens. Now, the same thing kind of happened again right here. We had this 394 area. We came up, we touched, failed, had a big candle through. We come back down to this right here. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and we'll just use my fibs for a trend line because why not? And we come back down and retest this flag on this 5-minute chart, use this as our new support, and then rip up again. It repeats itself over and over. And once you learn how to identify this, learn how to use it, it can make you a whole lot of money and give you way more confidence in your trading. So that was my big game plan for the day. Those were the only things I watched for me. So now I want to bring it over to Brandon, who called out the bangers live in Team Bull, and of course has the best education on this whole app for you. Let's get right to it.
Let's do it. So first, we're going to go over how we ended up finding this SPY reject up here. And honestly, this trade was pretty simple. The way that I found the level was just simply by taking the pre-market high right up here at, what is this? Like 391.36. I was ideally looking for a push up to short in the morning because we had this nice little sell off. So I was thinking, okay, if we can pop up, we can look to short it. So what I ended up doing was taking this high point at 391.36 down to the opening low right here with my fibs and called out in Team Bull. I'm watching around 389 to 389.4 for a reject. The reason I said 389 was just in case we overshot this fib a little bit and then rejected, which is ideally what I like to see. You can see that we rejected right at 388.96. So that is how I found this area of a reject right here. Now going into the actual reject, we saw a nice little pump up into this area, which is what I like to look for going into rejects. A nice big move. It increases the likelihood that we will reject and be able to get a profitable trade. So as always, what I'm looking for on the 1-minute time frame when we come up to these fibs is the breakthrough and then the reclaim of the opposite side. So that's exactly what we saw in this 1 minute candle. We tried to push up, immediately rejected off of this area, came right back down. We ended up getting short with our stop loss literally right above 389. And as you can see, we ended up flushing pretty much right back down into that low a day, obviously taking profits on the way down and then getting stopped out on the rest in profits. We kept bouncing off of that 3,900 on ES. So that was a pretty straightforward trade. Very simple, just break, reclaim opposite side, go short.
And real quick, those contracts went from like $1.60 to like 260 plus. Yeah.
Yeah. For the zero DTEs. Yeah.
For us day trade and scalp, that is a beautiful, beautiful trade, man. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So then once we were done with that trade, we almost like immediately hopped into the QQQ because what I ended up saying was it looked like QQQ was bull flagging. Now, when SPY pulled back, if we head back on over to SPY real quick, when we pulled back on SPY, it was a pretty hard pullback. But if we head on over to QQQ, when SPY was pulling back, it wasn't as hard of a pullback, if that makes sense. So like SPY came back close to that low a day. QQQ came nowhere near its low a day. So I was like, okay, we're getting a little bit of divergence between SPY and QQQ. And then at the same time, like I said, that bull flag. And then we also had the 5-minute squeeze holding above VWAP, suggesting that more than likely this squeeze was going to fire up. So red dots, light blue momentum, growing light blue bars, holding. Again, more than likely it's going to fire up. So then on this trade, what I was looking for was the breakout and hold outside of this bull flag, which happened to be right here. I believe we got in on this candle right here. And it just sat here and consolidated. The stop loss was right below 299, which was my 5-minute 8 EMA. So if I throw that up on the screen for you guys real quick, boom. Very small stop loss. As you can see, we continue to hold that 8 EMA, never going below it. And then finally, we were able to get this breakout back up into that 300 area. And then for me personally, I got out as we broke above this 300 right here up into this 300.6 area. And then from there, those contracts literally just exploded for the rest of the day, running over 600% on the zero DTEs.
Yeah, that is insane, man. And one thing I wanted to point out too, more of a risk management thing. When you were talking about that trade, you went to say how we got in and it consolidated. Those periods right there are why it's so important for people to not oversize. Because if if you're full ported in, seeing consolidation like that is normal. You're not just always going to get in and see a massive rip up or down, whether you're in calls or puts. So you have to size yourself to sit for a little bit to be patient, right? If you don't size yourself to be patient, if you're sitting there freaking out every 1 minute candle, every 2 minute candle, you're not going to be able to execute that trade to its full potential. And it's going to end up stopping you out because you're scared and you end up watching it, rip tenfold.
Exactly. Yes, that's a very good point.
So I just wanted to point that out. That was a very good example of, why risk management and position sizing is so important. And overall, amazing job, bro. A lot of good education today and just amazing calls. Love to see it, man.
Thank you. Those were literally like two of the best setups I think I've seen all week. So I'm glad that we could capitalize off of it and everybody in Team Bull.
Beast. So again, before we leave, make sure you've done a few things. Number one, make sure you go and subscribe to this man's YouTube. He has over 1,000 videos to learn from. He's live every single morning around 8 a.m. Eastern time with a free watch list and game plan for the day. Must see there. Second, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. The Team Bull podcast is out, as I said in the intro. Make sure you guys tap into that here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all the above. Lots of ways to learn. This man will be on it sooner than later too. Have our own episode and have some good stuff. And as always, brother, appreciate having you on here. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Cool. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Take care, man.
All right, brother. Peace.